aperture, leadership aperture, which is a concept coined by the Telos Institute that is a vertical development program or approach to leadership. So in other words, it's not just giving leaders more skills and tools, but providing leaders with a model and a lens to have the capacity to take in more information and act on larger scales, while giving them the wisdom to know how and when to act on those scales. We call it aperture. Aperture is like, if you can widen, you can narrow the aperture when you have to really focus on getting something done now, for example. You can make it a medium aperture when it's more of like a medium term thing, and a wide aperture when it's a long term thing. Let's talk about emotional regulation. So emotional regulation, the narrow aperture would be expressive, where the emotions that I'm experiencing are immediately expressed in the space that I'm in. And it can bring energy and vitality and authenticity to interactions. It's very real. Now, that's not always the great thing to do. For example, if I'm giving a speech to people I don't know and I have no past or future connection with, I may need to widen my aperture. So I'll go to a medium aperture, which we call composed. So maybe I have to learn how to regulate my body and my emotions by doing deep breaths. Feeling feet on the ground and sticking to the script, right? And the plan, and kind of being very measured and thoughtful. But that can come off as dry sometimes. And it also may disconnect from the emotions and the energy, and so it can kind of cut off from the life force. But if you widen it even more, we call it attuned. So a really wide aperture emotional regulation is that I'm actually feeling what is the emotion in the room. I'm feeling my own emotions, and I'm integrating my emotions with my thoughts. So there may be times when I want to acknowledge, hey, you're sounding really angry right now. Can you share more about it? Or when you said those things in that meeting, it made me feel like I wasn't being respected, or it made me feel, sad that I wasn't feeling understood, right? So it's not that I'm immediately expressing every emotion that comes to me, and I'm kind of in this emotional roller coaster. I'm connected with emotions both in myself and in others, as well as the steadiness of thoughts and mental constructs. And so this wide aperture, if a narrow aperture, if a medium aperture, if we often are so composed and measured that it kind of kills the energy, we might want to try broadening it up a little bit, widening the aperture, connecting with people's emotions, asking them. If people are struggling, you want to acknowledge, like, this must be hard for everyone here. I can imagine going through X, Y, and Z is hard. So this aperture approach is just a way to connect with it.